What's the worst school rule you hated most? There was a rule at my high school that students weren't allowed to leave campus for lunch, even if they had their own cars and even if they lived just minutes away. The cafeteria was crowded and loud, the food was barely edible, and we only had about 30 minutes to ourselves before being herded back into class. For most of us, that time was sacred. It was the one part of the day we weren't being watched, graded, or told to sit still. I had a friend named Jeremy who lived 3 blocks away. His mom worked nights and usually left him a stocked fridge. One day, sophomore year, he invited a few of us over to eat lunch there instead of choking down soggy fries and overcooked pizza squares. We parked on the street outside his house and scarfed down ham sandwiches, sodas, and chips in the sunroom. It was quiet, clean, and it felt like freedom. We did it once a week, sometimes more. One Friday, someone in our group got caught sneaking back through the rear parking lot. He was called to the office, and within 24 hours, all of us were summoned. We were accused of unauthorized departure from campus, and because it was our second offense, our first being talking back to a lunch monitor, we were suspended for 2 days. Suspension meant zeros on our tests and no chance to make them up. I remember sitting in that stale-smelling office, looking at the vice principal, wondering how leaving campus to eat a sandwich was considered some grave act of rebellion. The next week, they made an example of us. Our names were left off honor roll announcements, and we weren't allowed to participate in a club event we had helped organize. Jeremy's mom even called the school to argue, saying it was ridiculous to punish kids for coming to her house for a safe, quiet meal. But the rule was the rule, and they weren't budging. After that, lunch became a ritual of silent protest. We'd sit at the same table every day, unwrapping food we brought from home, never buying from the cafeteria again. We didn't talk much about it, but it became our quiet way of resisting. A few other students even joined us, drawn to the weird little corner where the lunch trays were always empty. That rule stayed in place until the year after we graduated, when some new administrator finally changed it, probably realizing how absurd it was. By then, none of us cared. We had graduated, gone to college, moved on. But sometimes I still think about that stupid rule, how something so minor and harmless turned into a power struggle between teenagers who just wanted to eat in peace and adults too obsessed with control to let it go. It didn't make me hate school, but it did teach me how unfair some systems are, even in small ways, and how sometimes the only rebellion you get is a sandwich at a quiet kitchen table 3 blocks away.